Hello and welcome to Cooking with the Wooden Spoon. Today we are making one of my favorite sauces, coffee barbecue sauce. If you have never had coffee barbecue sauce, you've got to try it. If you know me, you know I love coffee, so I will try to put coffee in anything that I can. This is a genius recipe, originally from Michael Simon with a couple tweaks from me. Michael Simon is one of my favorite chefs. The first time I had this coffee barbecue sauce, I was at his restaurant, B Spot in Cleveland. It was a fantastic experience, and I have been making this sauce for more years than I should admit, uh, a long time. But we love this sauce. It is great on chicken, it's great on beef, it's great on pork, it's great on a spoon. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing you need is ketchup. Gotta do Heinz because I'm from Pittsburgh. We also need a strong coffee. I typically do Peet's. That's my one of my favorite go-to store coffees. I prefer local artisan coffees, but with this recipe, I think that Peet's Major Dickinson tastes great. So I'll be using Peet's. We need a chopped small onion, a little bit of salt, half a cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of, I prefer red wine vinegar. We will need chipotle, ground chipotle, coriander, which is not too hard to find anymore. Once upon a time, I had a hard time finding coriander seeds. I buy them in bulk. And I use jalapeno in a jar typically. I do grow jalapeno peppers, but this year my jalapenos did not get really hot, and I like spice. I had read that the more rain you get, the less hot your peppers are. And we did get a lot of rain. So I'm not sure exactly if that's why, but I am kind of disappointed that my jalapenos are not as hot as usual. So this is a recipe that you just make in one pot. It's super easy. It is delicious. The only thing that is a bit different about this recipe is you make it and you put it through a mesh strainer to get rid of the whole jalapenos. So you get the heat and the flavor of the jalapeno and the onion and the coriander seeds, but you don't actually eat those. So you'll need a strainer, or I've also used cheesecloth for this. Uh, but we're going to go ahead and meet at the stove. To get started with our amazing coffee barbecue sauce, we're going to toast the coriander seeds that I was telling you about. I've heated my pan on low medium, and we're just going to let those toast for a few minutes. They will start to kind of pop a little bit actually as we're cooking them. Oh, you can see them start to pop. You got to keep, they're popping out. You got to keep stirring it will only take a few seconds for them to toast. You can smell them. Oh my gosh. I took it off the heat because the pan was nice and ready. So how cool that it popped a few of the coriander seeds. So coriander seeds actually come from the cilantro plant. Kind of cool. As it starts to seed, then the seeds are coriander. So we're going to grab our olive oil that I always keep beside the stove. The recipe calls for a tablespoon of olive oil. Oh, wow, that smells so good. And then we're going to add our onions. We're going to just get those translucent. We're not going to cook them down or cook them to death. And then we're also going to do the equivalent of one jalapeno. And then it's going to really start to smell awesome. Since I'm making this just for me, we're going to do maybe 1.5 jalapenos. Oh, delicious. It's going to be amazing. I actually really love this barbecue sauce on egg sandwiches. Tastes delicious. On anything, really, anything that you would use barbecue sauce in or for. Give that a stir. And then we're going to do a pinch of salt. I don't like to over salt things. So, there we go. This really couldn't be easier. The payoff is great. I think if you have a few basic sauces under your belt, I think it opens you up to a pretty good culinary repertoire. So, barbecue sauce is one of those staple sauces that I think is pretty important. I'm going to try for the next week or so to add some fun sauces to the channel, just for that reason, because I think if you have a base of good sauces, then you can make a wider variety of foods. I think that sauces are really underrated. I think if you have, a basic piece of chicken, you can do any direction with it if you have a good arsenal of sauces. And barbecue sauce is definitely one of our go-to sauces. The good thing about this sauce is you can do it to taste, of course, but you can add as little or as much to what you are cooking to adjust for what calorie needs you have or want. Really awesome. We're going to let this cook and then we'll come back to it when it looks like it should. It's starting to look pretty good. Yes, if you're wondering, this is Chewbacca on my wooden spoon. You can guess whose wooden spoon this is. It is really super cute. I think even Chewbacca probably likes barbecue sauce. I think it's neat how different regions of the country have their own take on barbecue sauce. I'm not sure, Cleveland or Pittsburgh, where we came from, has a specific barbecue sauce. We can pretend that this coffee barbecue sauce from Michael Simon is the region-specific barbecue sauce for Cleveland, but it's really not. One of the things that I really like about traveling, Matt and I love to travel, is we find barbecue places in all the different places where we visit. It's one of our favorite genres of food that we can agree on. My son Seth moved to Kansas City, and wow, the barbecue sauce there, it has a reputation for being great, and it is definitely earning that reputation. Seth is embracing the Kansas City meat cooking culture, and he is a whiz. He sends me pictures all the time of these amazing things that he is barbecuing, and so jealous. Good chef. He's a very good chef. Okay, I think I don't want to get this, see how I have a couple of pieces that are starting to get cooked a little too much. I think I don't want to get to the point where it's too much like that. So we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. A half a cup of red wine vinegar, a half of a tablespoon of ground chipotle. Noah's probably going to correct me on my pronunciation of chipotle. That's okay. It tastes delicious even if I can't pronounce it correctly. We got coriander. Coriander really is one of my favorite spices. I'm growing cilantro right now, and I'm torn between harvesting a bunch of cilantro and just letting it go to seed because I just love this coriander. We got our Heinz ketchup. Right now I'm picturing the Heinz ketchup plant in Pennsylvania. We got 1 cup of coffee barbecue and a half a cup of brown sugar. So we're just gonna let this combine pretty well and bring it to a boil. Definitely you will want to continue to stir as it comes to a boil because otherwise you'll have a splattered mess on your stovetop. And who wants that? I do wish you could smell this. It smells amazing. Okay, we're gonna let this boil and then I'll come back to you. As I was cleaning up our mise en place dishes, I heard the sound of the beginnings of a boil. It is interesting how cooking is often thought of as being about the sense of taste, but man, there's so much more than that. The feel of this right now, I can feel a little bit of resistance when I am stirring this. It was very smooth when I started cooking this and mixing everything together. And now as this sauce has started to thicken, I can feel a little bit of resistance. I can see a change in color as all of the flavors start to meld together. When this is done cooking, you'll see a change in color as well. But you can see a change of color. Certainly, you can smell this. It smells so, so, so good. I do a lot of cooking with smell. I often say it's my only good sense since my glasses are bottle thick and I can't hear very well. But anyway, I do a lot of cooking with smell. When we make pizza, this barbecue sauce tastes fantastic on my mini pizza crusts that I make. I put this barbecue sauce on chicken and cheddar cheese, and that's how Matt likes his pizza. But anyway, when I'm making that pizza, I can always smell when the pizza is done. Matt will say, "Do you want to check the pizza?" And I'll say, "Nope, don't need to. It doesn't smell done yet." Just take a second to think about how your senses are really involved in your cooking. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's pretty cool. So, we are to the point where this is boiling beautifully, and we are going to let this boil. We're going to reduce the heat to low, and we'll let this simmer for 10 minutes. The sauce is so easy. It comes together quickly. Like I said, the only part that requires anything is straining it, and that's really not a big deal either. So we'll show you how that goes here shortly. Our sauce has boiled for 10 minutes and it is ready to go. I should mention that we did cook our sauce with a lid on, just to make sure we didn't have splatter everywhere, and keeping the steam and the heat does cook it better. So you're about to see, this is not real hard. I like to just push through some of the liquid, stir it a little bit to get as much liquid to come out as possible. You see we have a lot of the chunky stuff in here, and we're just left with the barbecue sauce. Now, as the barbecue sauce cools, it will thicken, so it will be more like the traditional barbecue sauce that you're used to. Right now, it's pretty thin because it is rather warm, but there we go. I just wish you could smell it. Oh, it smells so good. And it smells a little spicy too, which I love. I'm all about that. Okay, so there you go. You got to see how easy peasy this was, and it doesn't have a whole lot of steps, but it is really delicious. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you like it, let me know. If you make it, put it in the comments, and enjoy your barbecue.